Alright guys, welcome to HRL Season 6 Wildcard Round number 2 here at Dimidium GP. Let's get right into it. So, qualifying times, Detail took the pole with the 57.921, Real Deal second with the 58.208, Avex third with the 58.688, Luke fourth with the 58.870, and Armada fifth with the 59.047. Heat winners, Detail won the first heat, Luke won the second heat, Detail won the semi, and now we're going to be moving on to first moto. Alright, so Detail in the front row, Luke second, Real Deal, then Armada, Opix, Phil, Camby, Hunter, Sector, and Shift. Let's get right into it. Keep your eyes on the lights. When they go green, race will be underway. And we're green. This is going to be a tight start through the chicane. And everybody stays pretty clean through it. I thought that would have been way worse. But everybody stayed fairly clean through it. And so far, a great start for Detail and Real Deal. They are already really far away. What the heck just happened there? Opix with a massive wheelie. Not quite sure what that was. That was Halo lag, Halo physics at its finest, for sure. And Real Deal getting close on Detail. We could already have a battle for the lead here, first and second. Pretty close. Real Deal goes a little wide there. Detail's going to gain a bit of time. Real Deal gains a ton of time there in the chicane. Heading to the finish here of our first lap. Detail in the lead. Going through the chicane. Detail, wow, I hate that piece right there. Real Deal barely nicks the edge of it, but didn't really hurt him at all. Stayed clean. Through the double hairpins. And now Luke stretched that gap from fourth place, who is now Opix, taking over fourth. Still pretty close here for the top two spots. Could see a lead battle in this one. Fourth, fifth is Armada right now, so Armada's holding on to fifth. Going for a top five, and this could be it. Real Deal with the run through the final section. And he's probably going to overtake the lead right here. So there it is, Real Deal leading the second lap here at Dimidium. And Detail's going to try to immediately go back to the inside, but ends up getting into the pole there. Unfortunate for him. And I'm watching the stream. Spartan117 Human XD. Thanks for the follow. And Detail into the pole again. And that slows up him and Luke both a ton. And that sucks for him because he was staying close for the lead right there, but getting into that pole is not what he needed. He just lost a ton of time on the lead. And now it's probably, with the way this track is, it's probably going to take, like, if he wants to catch up and compete for the win here, it's probably going to take, like, the rest of this moto to actually, like, catch up. So, that is definitely a huge mistake. Not one that he needed. Ooh, Phil going forward in the final corner. And what happened to Armada? So that's, yeah, so it's Detail and Luke, Opix, Hunter. We got Phil and Camby battling here. And yeah, what happened to Armada? Something must have happened to him. He has fallen all the way back to last. He must have crashed. He must have crashed in that time. He has fallen way back here, literally in last. So this is not a good moto for Armada. Big mistake, and that is going to hurt him very bad. I don't know if he'll be able to battle with Phil and Camby even. It's, oh man, you can't, I don't know what he did, but you can't make a mistake like that. He lost way too much time. Way too much time. Back here, this battle's heating up between Luke and Detail. Very close for third place. And this is exactly what Real Deal wants. It's for them to have a battle. It's getting close, but I think Luke's going to back off here. Does not want to take that chicane too wide. Probably a smart decision for both drivers. God, I hate that piece. Because you take that chicane too wide, you know, you might get through it clean, but even if you do, it slows you down so much. So you just got to keep your mind on the bigger picture here. Unless it's a battle for the lead, then obviously, you know, you might as well go for it. But if it's a battle for second, battle for third, and you still got other positions ahead that you might have a chance of taking, it's probably better to just let it go and you know, try to gain that time. Try to eventually work your way up there. Opix is in a solid fourth. He, you know, has just worked himself into a nice position where he's got a nice gap in front of him. He's got a nice gap behind him. Hunter in fifth, same scenario. Got a nice gap in front of him. Got a nice gap behind him. And then we've got Camby and Phil, they've been going at it this entire time. And Armada's actually impressing me. He's gotten by Shift and Sector. And he is, it appears he's making gains. Shift and Sector still having a great battle, as they do for last place every single race. It's true though. It's true. But yeah, so Armada's impressing me. He got by them very quickly. He has stretched that gap from them very quickly. And he is trying to make gains on Phil and Camby. And Phil and Camby continue to go at it. They continue to battle back and forth. And if they do that, then Armada might have a chance at catching up here and taking one of these spots if Camby and Phil continue this battle. So Armada's hoping that the way that they're going at it right now, this is easily the best battle on track. We're just going to follow this battle the rest of the race at this point. Ooh, Phil trying to protect that inside hard. Camby getting the run. Can Camby make a move in the final section? Let's see what he tries to do. Oh, Camby trying to set it up. Oh, Camby with the momentum. That was actually, I liked that move. Setting up the momentum, trying to go for the crossover. That was a good move, but just didn't pay off. Definitely a good move, though. Good idea for sure. Trying to do the same thing here again, getting that momentum. He's going to try to swoop in. Nice move, but yeah, just not going to be able to. That first corner you can gain some time on, but then you go into the chicane right afterwards, so you just have to give it up, really. Anytime you make up on that first corner, you have to immediately give up. So it just doesn't really work out for moves right there. If you're gonna make a move, it's got to be like in the last section. It's got to be somewhere in the last sector of the track, really. Camby still trying to make gains on Phil here, and like I said, this is exactly what Armada wants to see. He will catch up to these guys if they keep going at it as they are. But Phil's worked his way up to a little bit of a gap, and if he can hold on to that, then Camby might be lost for this battle. Camby's going to have a fire next lap. Goes for that like momentum run again. And it's pretty good, honestly. Camby's pretty good through that last section. He looks very fast right there. That might be his best section on track, honestly. And the Hunter's actually kind of catching up to Opix a little bit, so Opix is going to have to look out for that. It looks like Hunter's definitely been gaining on that gap. And again, Camby seems faster. That first corner, it's unfortunate. If we race this track again, there maybe should be a redesign there, honestly, because you gain all that time in the first corner. The first corner is one of the most skilled corners of the track, but then you go into that chicane and you can't make a move. Otherwise, you're going to screw over potentially yourself and the other driver. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Camby going down there, getting stuck in front of Armada. That is so unfortunate. They are both probably going to be gone from Phil now, and Armada is going to click off that spot on Camby. Can he hold it? Is the question, but, you know, good on Armada right there for sticking with it after getting thrown to the back and actually like gaining some spots here. That's always impressive to see some spots salvaged from a driver that gets in a sucky situation like that. Let's check the time. Ooh, we're getting close to the end of this moto, like under 2.5 minutes to go. So a lot of this moto has clicked off. But yeah, you know, I usually don't give suggestions for tracks when we watch them. You know, sometimes I will. But for this one, if we ever race it again, I almost think that chicane should get removed completely or maybe replaced by something else, because like I said, that first corner is, or it's technically the second corner, is one of the most skilled corners of the track. You see drivers gaining time on each other all the time in that corner because it is, in my opinion, easily one of the most skilled corners in the track, and it just kind of ruins everything when you get into that chicane, because that chicane is super hard to take too wide and you can't make a move there, and if you do try to make a move, unless it's for the lead, you're going to completely screw yourself over for any other positions, because you're going to, you lose so much time taking the chicane too wide that you're not going to have a chance at, catching up to that next position. So yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of a fault in the track, in my opinion. If you disagreed, that's fine, but that's just, I don't know, that's just what I think. The rest of the track's pretty good, though. I'm a fan of the rest of the track. It's just it's just the chicane, really. I liked the idea of it in theory, but I don't know. Maybe it's just Halo 5, it just doesn't work out. Or maybe if it was like a Mirabilis type section, the Mirabilis, I don't really want to call it a chicane, but that Mirabilis downhill section, if it was something like that, maybe that would work better. I don't know. Just something different. But I mean, that's the thing, though. Always improving on these tracks. You always got to be improving on them. Like, for example, Mirabilis, we have gone through, check the time. Okay, so this is going to be, can we get to the leader, please? This is going to be 3 laps to go right here. 3 laps to go in this first moto for Real Deal. But yeah, it's all about improvement of the tracks. Like, if you don't look at stuff on the tracks like that critically, you're not going to improve on them. Like, for example, Mirabilis. We have raced that track so many times, and in my opinion, it has easily gotten better with every iteration. In my opinion, the Rallycross version that we have now is easily the best and the most fun for sure. Because we just, every season we've looked at it and we're like, alright, what's the worst, like what's the most boring part of the track? What's the least skilled part of the track? How can we make it more skilled? How can we make it more interesting? How can we make it more fun? And that's what we've done. We've made it more skilled, more interesting, more fun every season, just little by little. And, it's improved. It's continuously improved, because track making is not a process with finality. You can always make, go back and make improvements to your tracks. So, it's something you always got to be looking at. So coming here to 2 to go, I believe. Yes, coming here to 2 to go for Real Deal to end off this race. Trying to take his 7th moto win of the season. And Real Deal, by the way, go through the championship Dimidium at the end of this, but he's already clinched the championship. It's already, it's already over. So congrats to him. He's just racing this race to try to get, some extra points, to try to get some extra wins, some good results for practice for the grand finals. That's why he's racing this race. But he's already got the championship clinched. The most important points position actually this race is Detail. Detail can pass. He is in 4th going into this race behind Roman and Slaunch. It's Slaunch with 293 and then Roman with 291. And Detail has 288 going into this race. So if he does well enough, he can pass both Roman and Slaunch and take 2nd in points, which is insane, because going to the white flag here, early off in the season, I think Detail was not really part of the discussion. It was Roman, Slaunch, and Real Deal for that championship. Those 3 were pretty close throughout the entirety of the season and remained pretty close. But towards the end, Real Deal got away a little bit, and it was Roman versus Slaunch, and then Detail had a really good last few rounds. He has had an absolutely fire last few rounds, and it has brought him back into the discussion for those spots. And now he's here at Dimidium with a chance of getting 2nd in points. So that's a pretty good, that's a pretty good salvage season for him, because it was not looking like a very good season following up his amazing season 5 with his championship. But then just really turning it around at the end here, and possibly able to take 2nd place in the points. As we go down to the final corner, and it looks like Detail's going to hold on to that 2nd place, just barely over Luke. That actually got pretty close at the end. The Real Deal is going to come across the line here in 1st, going to take his 7th moto win of the season. And Detail 2nd, Luke 3rd. Waiting on that gap. Opix holds onto it, going to take 4th. Little drift, like that drift across the line. Hunter 5th. Phil is going to hold on to 6th. Armada does hold on to 7th, and man, Camby really fell off there towards the end, going to take 8th. And it's going to be Shift and Sector at 9th and 10th. I'm going to spoil it for you guys. But yeah, so Real Deal there with his 7th moto win of the season. Just a good performance. Going to have to try to put in another good one to get that overall here in the... Wow, nice ground pound in the second moto, so let's get right to it.